Well, welcome everybody to the Birdcage in Ashland, Nebraska, as the #1 ranked Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays take on a team from Class B, the 9-11 Nebraska City Pioneers. The Pioneers have been playing excellent basketball of late. They come in here with upset on their mind. The Big Blue, well, they want to put it together well here as we finish up the regular season over the next couple of weeks, and they'll have a tough test tonight against the 9-11 Pioneers. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Washburn, and I am joined. We got a small crew here tonight, but the man from Hastings College, the All-American tight end, who also won a state championships at Beatrice playing for Jim Weeks, Jordan Wallman, and of course, you're the mastermind of our strive here as well, Jordan. But tonight, this is a fun one for the Blue Jays. They know they're in for a test. I had a chance to talk with Coach Jake Mose before the game and assistant coach Tyler Craven. A lot of respect for this Pioneers team that's led by a very talented Braden Thompson, a 6'4 senior, who's averaging over 16 points a game. He's going to be a tough guy in the middle. Talk about how the Big Blue will approach their defensive plans against Thompson tonight.
Yeah, I think it all starts and stops with Thompson. He's a big body on the inside. He's going to play D1 tight end, Southeast Missouri.
That's right.
I didn't grab the exact name of the school, but you know, when you have that ability, when you're a big, strong kid, it translates well to the basketball court. And he's played high-level basketball on Cale's summer teams for years and years. Matt Thompson, their head coach, was an assistant coach with Brad, and he's a coach's son. So, you know, he's going to be highly skilled, and he's going to have the ability to score the ball and be physical.
And listen, what a team that was that Brad Jacobson coached. I mean, you had Green, who's going to go on to play at Creighton. You have, obviously, Isaac Trout, the great player from Grand Island. And so some really nice players on that squad. And here was Thompson on it as well. And so, as you scribble a note, I hope I have this right. But let's see here. Oh, okay. Well, I know that they played against each other for many years, going back to third grade in that Northeast or Southeast Nebraska League. And this is quite a player. Brad Jacobson said great hands, and he can take over a game.
So Brad kind of brought them down a couple times in the past. And I remember he was in 8th or 9th grade. He was just such a strong kid. You know, as when I was younger, we'd go try to play, just kind of give him some live reps in the moment. And, you know, he was a strong physical player in 8th grade, and then he's only improved in his skills. And being a coach's kid is only going to help even more and more.
Well, let's talk about the Big Blue, as they obviously are trying to make sure they build some momentum. They're going to Grand Island Saturday morning to take on GI Northwest. Next week they have Malcolm and Bishop Newman. And then, of course, the postseason begins. And there's nothing more than what a head coach wants is their team playing the best basketball late in the year. What have you seen of these Blue Jays over the last couple of weeks to indicate where they're at in the season?
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird point in the year. You've played and you've kind of had some early, you know, there was that stretch in December which was just like the gauntlet, tough team after tough team after tough team. Then you go to the holiday tournament, tough teams, and it's not that we haven't played tough teams. It's just we've kind of had a lot of games in the past where we have to manufacture energy to continue to play at a high level. Game might get out of hand early, or some games that are traditionally tough kind of get out of hand, like a Platteview game kind of got to a wide margin early. And so I think Mose has done a good job of holding kids to high expectations and really working to guarantee that their standard doesn't lower just because the score of a game might be different than – because you're going to have tough games, so that's what you got to prepare for.
Well, speaking of never lowering the standards, Logan Yingling is joining us tonight. He'll be bringing you the pictures for tonight's broadcast. So, Logan, it's great to have you up here in the booth. He does a great job. And, Jordan, you've got some kids that are doing an outstanding job, whether it's the video they put out on Twitter during the week, the broadcasting work they're doing on the technical, some good stuff.
Yeah, and so we actually kind of have like a sheet that has all what the kids have attended, and almost every student has met that requirement. So that's kind of where you see some nights off. But it was kind of fun to see. You know, we added like Cadence Minnick is on the sideline tonight, grabbing sideline footage.
Yeah.
Isaac Love set up with me after school today. Logan's coming on the camera, and so it's kind of been fun to see who our Strive All-Stars are. They're all All-Stars, but like Braxton Buck's been at 9, 10, 11 events. Sarah Spears is really doing a lot with video editing, so Logan's just getting his camera numbers up to be a Strive All-American this year.
Oh, man, he's working it. There's no doubt about it. And speaking of a team that comes in here with a lot of very big talent, this number 1 ranked Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays team, they have proven, Jordan, over the last few weeks that they can have a game where Cale Jacobson goes off for 25, but they also can have a game where Cale scores 10 and is a master distributor of the basketball, and the Blue Jays have gotten some great help. And as they come down this stretch and they play those, those very, very tough teams that we know they're going to have to beat to win at a very high level late in the year, there's no doubt about it, they need 7 or 8 contributors on this team.
It definitely doesn't hurt, and then your rotations become deeper. You can go into the 10 deep, and if you have foul trouble, if you have injury issues down the road, you've got guys that can step up in almost every situation. But I think Cale's, what he's been doing is the definition of take what the defense gives you. DC West, everyone was collapsing down on him. He kicked out the shooters, and we had a 50% shooting night from 3. Boys Town, Louisville, he was asked maybe do a little more. I think the biggest thing for Cale is as long as he continues to take what the defense gives him, he's such a talented player, he's got 7 or 8 different ways he can impact the game.
No doubt about it. Well, it is going to be a fun one tonight as the crowd is filling in. Not as big a crowd as we've seen over the last couple of weeks. There are some empty seats tonight, but still the student body will be here in force. They've been great all season long, and they're getting ready to get it going. I don't know what their theme is tonight, but they're all wearing gray. You got any idea? Is it workout clothes? What is it?
Well, staff day today was beach day. I don't know if you saw the picture of Jake Jensen on Twitter. He had a lawn chair. I think Christy Bundy tweeted it out, but looks like a gray out over there. I'm a gray on gray guy, so I kind of like that.
I like it. Let's do the gray out theme is what we're going to call it here tonight. And they'll be anything but gray. They will be loud. They'll be crazy. And it's going to be fun to hear them getting after it. Well, folks, we are going to pause now as Brad Jacobson, the public address announcer and our principal, is letting us know that we're going to pause for the playing of the national anthem. All right, we've got the national anthem down. That means it's time for the starting lineups here at the Bird Cage between Nebraska City and the Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays. Let's start with the Pioneers. It'll be Chase Brown, who's playing some excellent basketball. He is a 5'9" senior, averaging just over 13 a game. In that backcourt is MJ Nelson. He's a 6-foot senior as well, but he'll play big. He's averaging 5 points again. And then you've got Nuon Thoko. He's a 6'2" senior, averaging just over 10, and he will take it to the hole. Jaden Bourne, a 5'9" junior, is one of the 5 starters. And then rounding it out, we mentioned him, Braden Thompson, a 6'4" senior, terrific and dynamic player. He's averaging just over 16 points a game. And now for the big blue, it'll be Cale Jacobson. Too smooth Cale Jacobson, as Jordan calls him, averaging 18.5 points a game, shooting 61% from the field. Evan Shepard, the 6'2" senior, he's averaging just under 8 points, but man, can he shoot the 3, shooting almost 50% on the year. Then you've got Brooks Kissinger. He'll attack the hole. He'll hit from the perimeter, averaging just about 11 points. He's a 6'2" junior. Cougar Konza, who had a great game his last out. He's a 6'4" junior, averaging 8.3 points again. And Maximilian Parker, as Brad Jacobson likes to call him, a 6'6 senior, averaging 10.8 points a game and 6 boards a game. The officials tonight, great experienced crew on hand. You've got Rob Lofton, Wyatt Morris, and Chris Janda. And it will be Janda, the veteran official, who will throw the basketball up as Max Parker and the very athletic Braden Thompson will be going after it. Here we go. The Blue Jays will be working right to left here in the bird cage in front of us. Janza gets ready for action, ball in the air, and Thompson wins it. Max hasn't lost many opening tips, has he?
That was a quick jump from a 215-pound kid. He's athletic.
So here we go, underway here. Class B, Nebraska City. Class C1 ranked Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jay, number 1 in Class C1. And the Blue Jays in that man-to-man. Nebraska City trying to attack, though coach may have thrown it away, and he did. He threw it behind Jaden Bournes, and so the Blue Jays get a turnover.
Yeah, not much they did on the defensive end of things. I see a Bishop Newman coach walking in here right now scouting.
Little scouting tonight, huh?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, not much you did. Blue Jays got to keep playing solid.
Back the other way, man-to-man here for the Pioneers. As Conzen in the paint. Turn around, little hook shot will go, and it's tipped around, but Cougar tracks it down. Credit Max Parker with a tip out. Shepard working off that left elbow. A lot of movement going on here. They clear it out for the senior. Jacobson step through, right hand won't go. Rebound coming down to Thompson. So we are scoreless a minute into this game. There is Bourne working off the right side. Nebraska City going to be very patient against this man-to-man. Now up top is MJ Nelson. You hear the crowd trying to get this Blue Jay defense in. Thompson tries a 3-ball, and he knocks it home to give Nebraska City a 3-0 lead.
He's a big kid, so he's got big, strong physical characteristics, but he's also very skilled on the outside.
And there's Evan Shepard. You talk about two athletes on both sides of the court. We mentioned Thompson going to go play football at Southeast Missouri State, and then Evan Shepard going to run track at Midland, and he's fouled. They say it's on the floor, though, and that will be the first foul, by the way, on Thoko.
And both guys, probably could have went a little higher. It's not like they were scratching and clawing to get to where they're at. This coup goes in with a nice little inbound pass from Kale, but both him and Evan, in my opinion, are very high-level guys going to those schools, and both schools are lucky to have them.
Got to imagine Coach Thompson not happy his defense giving up that easy bucket on an inbounds pass. I know as a former coach, those things can drive you crazy, can't they, Jordan?
They can, and he kind of sounded like he called the set that the Blue Jays were going to run, and then I think the Blue Jays kind of heard them calling that and called a different one. So he's done his homework. He's done his scouting.
Well, Coach Thompson, he went to college at Iowa Western to play some basketball, finished up at Peru State. Coached 10 years at Fremont Mills in Tabor, Iowa. Here's a pass inside that's knocked out of bounds off of Parker. And he's been the coach the last 5 years at Nebraska City, 2 years as an assistant coach, so a total of 7 years at Neb City for Coach Thompson. 3-2, Neb City leads. Here's Nelson. They have a nice set out of the inbounds, but they miss the jumper, does Nelson, and Jacobson running the other way. Down on that left baseline, kick it out. Blue Jays getting the paint. Shepard again with good penetration. Kicks it out. Parker, 3, bingo!
Tell you, running down the numbers here, Max Parker's shooting 48% from 3 this year. That's a torrid stretch. Got a couple guys that are really shooting it well, but Max is definitely at the top of that list.
My goodness, Parker, Shepard. Here's a 3-ball, and Thompson can't answer. And the rebound coming down to Shepard. The Blue Jays up by 2. Kale gonna attack. Thompson tries to take him, forces the miss. Long outlet's going to be stolen by the very quick and sure-handed Shepard. Shepard running. Good pass to Brooks. Tries to kick it up top. Look at that ball movement. Shepard for a 3 off the glass. It won't go. And so it stays 5-3. I know the Blue Jays, Jordan, really wanted to focus on great ball movement tonight. That was in their game plan, and so far they've moved it around pretty well.
They have, and tonight's an interesting night. Not many guys can slow Kale down physically, but Braden Thompson might be more of a physical player than Kale is.
He is a big boy. I'd love to know what position he's going to play.
Tight end.
Tight end, that's right.
Tight end.
Oh, yeah.
I watch his football highlights. He's legit. He can run. He can catch. He's physical. I mean, he is a legit Division I tight end.
By the way, if you don't know, folks, here's Kale for a three. Can't get it to go. And the rebound coming down to Brown. Jordan Wallman, All-American tight end at Hastings. And back here is Thoko. He tries to bank it, won't go. Blue Jays gonna run. Kale pulling up, looking for some help. Finds Parker. He's feeling it, but not that time. As a rebound coming down to Brown. Both teams just a little bit off offensively here in the early going, Jordan.
Yeah, and Nebraska City's going to play the Blue Jays man-to-man. And so whether Braden's on Kale, whether Braden's on Max, that's kind of one guy for the Blue Jays who's kind of locked down. So I think that's why Mose was so keen on ball movement tonight.
Bourne's going to kick it up top here to Thompson. By the way, we kind of talked over it, but you saw that pass from Thompson earlier. It was a great one. He was trying to find Bourne. Bourne tries to hit a tray. It won't go. Jacobson running. Gets in the paint. Brooks with a crossover. Good hands by Thompson. Man, this kid's an athlete. Now they work to Kissinger. Look at him pull up and go off the glass. Oh, my goodness, he was robbed.
I think that was about halfway down before it popped back out.
I thought Brooksy had that one. What a move by Kissinger. And now Coach Thompson calls a timeout. 5-3. And what do you make of this early start here by both of these teams offensively? Just
a little sluggish. Both teams, taking shots that you're okay with. We're fine with Blue Jay shots, but it's a little sluggish. It's a different look. It's a different man-to-man look for the Blue Jays because, there literally is a player on the other end that can neutralize Kale from a physicality standpoint. Braden is a legit basketball player. He probably had some aspirations to play college basketball, but just off the way he's built and what he offers, he's a high-level football player, so take that avenue.
I have a feeling the camera really doesn't do justice on Thompson here. He is well put together, solid, and when he bumps you coming in the paint, he does a great job, and there's a turnover. Blue Jays with the pressure as the pass from Brown behind Thoko. But when he bumps you, you're going to feel it. This is a big, solid, strong kid.
Yeah, and as you watch Kale coming down in transition, he's constantly sweeping into Kale. Kale has every ability to get around him, but that's a college basketball player, defender right there. So I think the Blue Jays really got to focus on getting Kale to the outside, let Thompson help down, and let's kick out to Kale and get him some shots tonight.
Thompson on Jacobson. Here's Dame, brother to brother. Bingo! A little brotherly love between the two of them.
Coming out a little set there, they gave Kale ball screen. Thompson switched off. There's a miscommunication, and Kale hits the open guy. It's good action.
And they're working against this pressure, 8-3. Nebraska City's got off some shots they want, just can't get the buckets to fall early on. And so Brown will take over the basketball. Coach Thompson very happy with Chase Brown. Said he's playing some great basketball. Here is a whistle and out of bounds off the Blue Jays' Max Parker. Checking in for the first time is Kalen Fritsch. He's a sophomore. Out will go MJ Nelson, the 6-foot senior. Thompson to inbound. Blue Jays denying. And there's a steal. Great job by the Blue on the inbound. Jacobson with the steal. Kale, beautiful dish. They find an open Dane. Jacobson, this time can't get it to fall. Cade Bridges, who checked in, gets the board. Blue Jays tough on the offensive boards. Here comes Kale on the right baseline drive. Thompson with a great job on him defensively. Blue Jays up by 5 with 2 minutes to go first quarter. Kale gets a pick. Does he use it as far as the pick and roll? He takes a good-looking shot that just won't fall. But Max Parker with another offensive board. Shepard, 3-ball, too much. Who's going to come up with it? And this time Bournes does.
They're scrappy and they're good shots. There's, you would love to see those fall, especially the layups, but it's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes they go and sometimes they don't. Blue Jays doing a great job crashing the boards.
Both teams really getting after it defensively. And here comes a backdoor cut to Brown. Finds Thompson in the paint. Works against Parker. Parker did a great job of adjusting his shot. And Thompson has it again. Here's Thoko in the paint. Finds Thompson. 3-ball. He's already hit 1. He's hit 2. It's 8-6.
Thompson kind of presents the same challenge offensively that Max Parker does. You'd like the guy guarding the 5 to play on the inside. As they help down, that leaves a good shooter open on the outside. So Max helps down. Thompson gets open for a second 3 of the night.
Rob Lopton calls a reach in. Coming in is Kissinger, and Cougar cons him out. Will go Max Parker, as well as Evan Shepard. And Max with a great defense on that side of the court. We know how good Thompson is, and he really adjusted that shot, forced an air ball out of it. 3 ball, Kissinger, bingo!
Big hit from Brooks. That's 2 times we scored out of baseline, out of bounces, and that gives us an opportunity to get into our press. Great action from the Blue Jays. Brooks hits a big shot.
Kissinger shooting 44% from beyond the arc. That looked good. They beat the pressure. Blue Jays up 5 under a minute to go, first quarter. And the Pioneers going to pull it out. Will they go for 1, or are they going to get into a new set? This is Connor Cosgrove. We're also just checked in. Over to MJ Nelson. Look at that Blue Jay faithful. That student body almost got a turnover for the Big Blue. They get it over to Thompson. Now here's a 3 put up from the right corner. That's no good. And a whistle and an over-the-back call on Cosgrove.
Blue Jay faithful making a little noise there. Got a little ruckus. You know, as we climb down these last 23 seconds right here. You know, Blue Jays made that, the birdcage made that feel important.
So we're under 20 seconds to go here. And Coach Mose says, let's play for 1. What a masterful job Coach Mose has done. Building this team, building this coaching staff. Here's Cale Jacobson in the paint. Kicks it out. Got him 3 ball. Just a little bit off. Look at Bridges. Fight for that. His turnaround jumper at the buzzer. Konzon, did it go?
Yeah.
Are they going to give him the bucket? Yes, sir.
All right.
It's 13-6.
Heck of a shot from Cougs. Talk about crashing the O boards. The Blue Jays continue to do that, and really it's making a difference in this game right now. And that's a great skill because Nebraska City's big, tall, and athletic. Blue Jays crashing those boards.
How about that Blue Jay defense giving up just 6 points, 2 3-pointers to Thompson?
It's great, and you know you got to follow the scout to a certain degree, and they got good players. You know, me personally, I know Braden the best out of everyone, and so I've kind of talked about him the most. But Chase Brown is getting 12 and a half a game. A couple other guys scoring around 5, 6, 7 points. Thompson obviously leading the way, but Blue Jays really shutting things down right now.
And a big shout out to all those youth players. Coach Mose told me his son Mason loves to listen, doesn't miss a replay of the broadcast. And that's a little 6th grader who's going to have, and I shouldn't say little because for a 6th grader he's pretty tall, but he's got a heck of an athletic future coming up. And great at baseball, great at basketball, great at football, and in all those leadership positions, a pitcher and quarterback, you know how those kids are.
Yeah, Coach 6th grade, Mason, he's a great player. He's definitely taken over games before. He's a big, strong, physical kid, but he's skilled. And thanks for tuning in, Mace, whether it's live or on demand.
We love it. And we'll be calling his name before you know it. Youth program in good shape here, Blue Jays. Here's an alley-oop down to Max. A little too far. Max underneath the bucket, and they're going to call travel on Max. And I don't know if Coach Mose, he's up there. I don't know if he felt like that was a travel or maybe not the right call.
It looked a little goofy. That's one of the third time they ran that alley-oop play to Max this year. And, you know, Max isn't at his most comfortable when he's got 4 or 5 guys around him. I mean, he's got to pop back and then elevate. You know, Max is at his best when he's cutting and slashing through the lane.
Well, they beat the pressure this time. It's 13-6. Second quarter just going. Thompson has it. You've got Kissinger, Parker, Cale Jacobson, Evan Shepard out there as well as Cougar Konza. Here's Bournes, 3 ball. Man, they're getting the looks they want, just can't get it to fall. Here's a long outlet pass to Shepard. Shepard, what a dish to Konza! Bucket off the glass, it's 15-6.
That was a sweet play. Evan kind of did a side hop through 2 defenders. He could have landed and finished, but instead he went ahead and made a great pass over there for 2 points.
And what does Shepard do? He comes right back with a steal after that beautiful pass, and he scores! He's putting on a show!
Clinic by Evan Shepard showing you why he's such a great player for the Blue Jays. Hey, and also big shout out to his dad, Scott. Evan let me know that he's going to be tuning in tonight. Scott, it's good to have you on the broadcast.
And I love that Twitter piece we did the other day as Brooks Kissinger gets a steal, goes hard, he's fouled, he'll go to line to shoot 2. You know, when Cale Jacobson, I'm interviewing he and Evan, right? And when Cale Jacobson says, hold on, boy, it gets your attention. I knew he had something to say. and he just raved about the Shepard family, Evan, and Scott Shepard, of course, Evan's father, listening in tonight. Can't be here. But we are so fortunate to have. What a wonderful family, and Evan's just a great kid.
Yeah, he's a little ray of sunshine walking through the hallway with that big smile, and such a great kid, but also so impactful on multiple fields on the athletic football, basketball, baseball. I don't know, I just get happy when I see Evan walking down the hallway in them cowboy boots and that big smile.
No doubt. I had a guy come up to me as Kissinger hits that second free throw. Terry Rogers, he had met Evan and said, boy, I don't know him well, but the couple times I've talked to him, he's just a great kid. So he makes a great impression. And the Blue Jays now making an impression in this one of 18-6. It's how quick they can just take a close game and start pulling away. And Nebraska City needs a bucket here. They just have 2 trays from Braden Thompson. Here comes a drive, high off the ground, blocked by Parker, but getting it back is Brown, and he finishes.
Max Meyer needed an oxygen tank, how high he got up there. He might have been in the lithosphere. I feel like he took that thing out of the air. But good job on Nebraska City's end by taking advantage and making that shot.
Brooks trying to find a man in the corner, and let's see, we got a whistle went out of bounds off Nebraska City. Ashland-Greenwood will keep it. Now, I've got to ask you, lithosphere, is that lithosphere? Where is that? Is that above the stratosphere?
I teach social sciences, not not regular science. I was kind of just naming out the one that I could remember from class.
You know what? That's a good one. Here's Cougar Consom, 3 ball, won't go, and a rebound coming down. I'll just say this, it sounds like it's way up there. So we're going to stick with it. Here comes Thompson. Great athlete. Wasn't able to finish as Max Parker got a hand on him, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
It's kind of been fun to watch Max in this game gain a little confidence. Braden's a tough matchup. What he brings to the table physically, skill-wise. Max maybe early was a little timid, played off, got some threes hit on him, and ever since that first stop he got on Braden in the first quarter, Max is going after balls. He's gaining confidence, and this is a good matchup for Max.
It is, and I've been impressed with what Parker's been able to do. Is Thompson misses that first free throw, misses the second, but that's Stoko, who got it in the corner. Great hustle. And so Nebraska City, they're hanging around down 10. They're really struggling offensively, but their defense has been good enough to keep them in this game. Now working over here is Bloom. Skip pass is Kissinger doing a good job defensively. Toko, he's going to get in the paint. They said that's what he loves to do is drive it. But a great job by Cougar Consom. Here comes Bournes, and he works against Kale, and Kale says, and he gets the rebound.
It's a great defensive play. Kale kind of bumped him and then tapped him on his head.
No one picks up Cougar, but then Brown gets a block from behind.
Excuse me, tapped the ball, not tapped him on his head. Sorry, good job by Kale.
Yeah, absolutely. And back the other way come the Pioneers. Brown giving it up over there to Bournes. They get in the paint. Thompson working against Max Parker. That's 2 physical bodies banging on each other. And Thompson gets the bucket. Max being physical tonight as Brooks Kissinger steps through. Nebraska City wanted to travel there. Kale against Thompson. What a matchup this is. They get it back over to Cougar. Cougar spin move in the paint against Toko. Can't quite finish. And there's Thompson flying through the air. And a little dribble behind the back. Back comes Bournes. Bournes looking, working off that left side. They get it down in the corner. Shepard on Bournes. 3:58. The pace of this game is favoring the Pioneers, isn't it, George?
It is, and it's just kind of possessions like this where we kind of take everything out, take a breath, get into some sets that have ball screens. That fits their pace better than the Blue Jays.
So go to Thompson, long 3 ball. Could he get his third? No, but man, that looks good, doesn't it?
It does.
Coach Mo's calling a timeout, but Jordan, sorry I interrupted you there.
It does, and it's probably him being kind of the biggest, most physical body on their team does probably mean that a lot of guys or a lot of teams have to play a center or a big body to guard him, and if that's the case, then threes are open all night. So I didn't watch a lot of film on them, but my guess is that he gets into a lot of situations where he catches, thinks, assesses, sees his space, and then takes advantage of that three.
I'm going to talk a little bit about your colleagues. What is coaching staff, Coach Mose, as a symbol? He's got some incredible guys, Nate Skurdla, Jordan Schau, Tyler Craven and Justin Appleby, who joined this year as a student teacher. Get this, their 4 parents have over 1,400 wins coaching basketball. 3 of those 4 played college basketball. And you talk about Jerome Skrdla, by the way, just got his 600th win at Gretna. He's one of only 4 coaches, by the way, to do that. What a staff Coach Mose has put together coming into this season.
Yeah, it's a good staff. It's a young staff, brings a lot of energy. I love what Mose said last time on the broadcast is they have a great ability to connect with students. And I know like Shiloh has taken kind of Brooks under his wings as a guard, as a point guard, teaching skills, talking skills. Tyler obviously has such high standards and he communicates those so well that I love TC coaching anything. But just a great staff, and big shout out to Scuds and big shout out to Appleby. 600 is a lot of wins, Tim.
Isn't that something else? Coach Skrdla at Gretna, what a job he's done. And they've got some state championships too amongst them, and a lot of state appearances. So here comes Shepard in the paint looking, he's going to kick it out. They're going to work that left side against man-to-man. Credit Coach Thompson here from Nebraska City. Get his team to kind of slow things down a little bit. And here's a dump off, brother to brother, bucket.
Right read, Nebraska City's switching screens right now. So Braden Thompson gets on Dane. He sees Kale drive. He leaves to help as a rim protector, and Kale makes the right read.
And here's a steal. Kale going to attack. He'll go with the left hand and a layup. It's now 22-10.
It was really good. Kale kind of was going into his rock the cradle for his dunk and kind of had to make transitions mid-flight and does a great little lay with the left hand.
First bucket for Kale tonight. He's got 2 points. But he's done so much more. He's had several steals, a lot of assists. Here's a 3-ball the other way that misses everything. Max tracks it down. Parker over to Shepard. Long outlet to Kale. Kale in the paint. And here's a great pass down to Dane Jacobson. Good look by Max Parker.
I tell you, I told Dane the other day, I didn't want him to get mad at me. I said, one of your best characteristics is you're so good at getting lost. There's so many times this year clipping things that Dane has been open for feeds and he hasn't gotten the ball, or he has been open and he capitalizes.
And here comes Thompson with his team down 14. Boy, do they need a bucket with 1:58 to go. They've gotten some looks, just haven't been able to knock it down, and this Blue Jay defense has been tough. Brown just cannot get going tonight. He's averaging 13 just with 2. Thompson's got 8 though. 8 of the 10 for Nebraska City. Look at this Blue Jay defense. I mean, they're just not giving them an inch.
They're not, and the nice thing about the Blue Jays is that they can rotate a little more, so they're up in the passing lane. You see Dane up in the passing lane. Kale's on ball. Guys just really suffocating.
And Jordan, to your point, when you get suffocated like that, it's easy to have a pass go through your hands there, as it did with Chris Bloom. Just tough, isn't it? I mean, when they wear on you and wear on you and wear on you, you make those little unforced errors.
And little tip passes that you don't get play a huge role, because then guys start, their eyes start tracking down and you're not watching the ball into your hands. It's kind of like a big hit in football. You hear footsteps, you hear tires or shoe squeaks, and kind of draws your attention away from the catch.
Well, here comes Kale, and he's going to be fouled by Thompson. Tried to reach around and popped it out. Braden Thompson, who's played really exceptionally well tonight. Probably something he wished he had back there. That's probably not going to happen, reaching around trying to pop it out.
I tell you, he's taking some pride. Him and Kale are buddies. They played together all those years. He's taking pride in the stop.
And look at Dane Jacobson go over Coco. He's got 9 tonight.
Yeah, and on the inside, hit a 3, and then he's got three shots on the inside at short range. So good job for Dane finding rolls.
The sophomore with that mop of a hair. And he's getting after it tonight. Coco gave up his dribble. 16-point lead. Blue Jays have been tested, but they're hanging in there. Look at Bourne. He'll go high off the glass. Someone pushed him. I'm not sure if it was Bridges or Kale. Let's see who it's on. As the official Wyatt Morris comes over and makes the call. Bourne's going to the line to shoot 2 here. 26-10. Bourne's looks, fires, in and out. And this is the start, Jordan, of a fun 3 days. We got this going on tonight. The girls are playing at Omaha Mercy tonight. Tomorrow you got district wrestling in Aurora that will be a lot of fun, the first day of that. Saturday morning, you and I on the call against Grand Island Northwest. You can hear that on agbluejays.com at 8 a.m. And then districts finals that afternoon in Aurora. What a 3 days.
It'll be a lot of fun, and Aurora will be striving wrestling if you want to tune into that.
I mean, these brothers are treating each other well tonight. Mostly it's the older brother who's really treating the younger brother well, as Dane got his 11th point with a nice feed from older brother Kale. In the paint. Now we got a whistle, and a double dribble is going to be called on Chase Brown. He doesn't like the call. And the game getting away here from the Pioneers. Coach Thompson doing everything he can as he subs in now Kalen Fritsch, the sophomore.
You know, and then imagine you're getting ready for Ashland. You really lock in on stopping Kale, and you know the shooters are, and you know Parker and Cougar, and then a sophomore comes in and has 11 points in the first half.
Yep, that'll do it. It'll give you nightmares, won't it?
And you can only scout for so many guys, but it's good basketball.
What a pass from Jacobson to find Kissinger, and that will go out of bounds. Hits the strap above the backboard. But my goodness, Kale drew triple coverage that time, and what did he do? Found a wide open Kissinger in the corner with a bullet of a pass.
And he kind of threw it on the way down, and he kind of threw it through a couple guys' arms. You know, if he takes anything off, that doesn't have a great chance of making it.
Here comes Thompson, gets the inbounds pass, puts up a prayer, it will not go. But credit Nebraska City. They've done a great job defensively here, holding the Blue Jays to just 28. The Blue Jays averaging in the upper 60s. And Nebraska City, though, just not able to knock down a lot of shots here, as they had just 5 points in that second quarter, 6 points in the first. So this Blue Jay defense has been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, they really have, and you know they know their scout. You know, Mose kind of, you said it to me as well, kind of looking at what their plan was for tonight, and really kind of revolved around stopping Thompson. You know, just knowing where Brown is, and just kind of seeing where you go from there. And you know, how many points? Do you know how many points they allowed in the first quarter?
The Blue Jays?
Yeah,
gave up 6.
Gave up 6 and 5, 2 single-digit quarters. That's 2 halves of getting it done.
Yeah, you know, again, when you're not necessarily having the night you want offensively, and Nebraska City's played a big role in that. They played some really good defense. They've gotten the tempo they kind of want. But what do? You turn out an absolutely exceptional defensive first half, holding them to 11, and that's the kind of team this #1 ranked team, Ashland-Greenwood Blue Jays team is, in that they can hurt you on both sides of the court.
Yeah, and what makes a lackadaisical game, or what makes a lull game, it's breakdowns on defense. You know, you take good shots and you miss some, you can get in the gym, work on that. But if you're allowing layups, if you're losing guys, if you're not rotating well, that can create that lull. And so that's what you want to avoid.
Yeah, and we've got the dance team coming out here tonight. And
did you want anything from the concession stand?
No, you're good, buddy. You are good. No, I got
Okay.
it, because I'm going to get some water here.
No,
Hey, I love this, though. You send Logan down to the concession stand. You get a pop for you and a pop for Logan. I get nothing.
You don't need any more energy. We get you a tea, but you know, Tim, if we give you any caffeine, you're going to be bouncing off the walls.
That's true. Well, Logan's done a great job for us tonight. Great job bringing the pictures, buddy. Appreciate all that you do. And, you know, let's talk just a little bit about this coming in here, Jordan. The Blue Jays, one of the things they wanted to do was keep Chase Brown and Braden Thompson. They wanted to hold them to about 20 or 22 points. Right now, Thompson, he does have 6, but Brown with just 8. And so right now they're accomplishing their goal, aren't they?
They are. And when you look down the line of scoring, Brown's getting almost 13, Thompson's getting almost 15. You know, the next couple of guys, there is a considerable gap there. And so I think to have the mentality of, that's always kind of been Mose's MO, is that we're going to stop the best guy, stop the second best guy, really scout 3 deep. And if we need to scout deeper than 3, obviously we'll do that, but stop the best player. A lot of one-on-one defense, help defense, focused on that. And right now they're getting it done, and you know, it's a good strategy, and it's working out well for them because they're hitting their single-digit quarters.
So, Jordan, how, you know, look, in the media, we love to overdo things, right? And so I want, because you've been on that other side, you've coached, how important when you get to this stretch, this is the team obviously ranked #1 in Class C1 in Ashland-Greenwood. They have very, very high hopes. So how important is it in these last 2 weeks to start playing that kind of championship quality basketball that you want to see? Is that an overdone thought, or is that something that every coach really has a lot of emphasis on?
That is such a great question. I think it depends on the philosophy. I think that guys that have complete control over a program, guys that are controlling every single aspect of things from top to bottom, really implementing an extremely hard and rigid culture from a young age, that's very important. I think where Mose has his strength is he's very data-driven, and he's very standards of performance-driven. So, I think that if you walk out of a game that's not as hyped up, not as exciting, you say, oh, well, we allowed one single-digit quarter. We shot 50% from the field. We're okay with that. I think that's where Mose pushes his standards and pushes his want to be better versus we didn't bring enough energy tonight. The gym was dead. That's how some programs look, and I think that it's a healthy standard to push kids in the way that you want to push them, and I like the way that Mose pushes kids.
Well, I'll tell you, we don't have to push this guy, Mark Adell, because he is self-motivated, and he's one of the best stat guys in the business. So, Mark, what's it look like here numbers-wise?
Did the Jacobson boys switch jerseys?
Cale is helping out younger brother tonight. You got to love that.
Yeah, I do. Dane is 5 for 6 from the field, 11 points. Cale just 1 of 5. I'll take anybody to Vegas that would have predicted that. But, a lot of shots just rimming out. You wonder if a gremlin stuck in here and tightened the rims.
Yeah, on both sides, right?
Yeah. So neither side shooting really well. And the Blue Jays, it would be decent for anybody else but the Blue Jays. They're 12 of 28, 43%. Nebraska City just 4 of 15, 27%. Neither team shooting real well from 3. We're 3 of 11 for 27%. They are 2 of 9 for 22%. And playing pretty good free throw defense too. We're 1 of 2, 50%. Brooks was 1 of 2. They are 1 of 4, 25%. Rebounding are even a 13 apiece, mostly for them due to Chase Brown has 7 boards for them. He has been tough on the boards. They have 3 offensive, we have 4 offensive. Here is the category that's really the difference in the game, turnovers. We've turned it over just 1 time, they've turned it over 10. And as I have said, to beat the Blue Jays, even if they're not shooting well, you gotta take better care of the ball than that.
Hey Mark, real quick, what did we shoot from the floor in the first half?
12 of 28, 43%.
Great, thank you, buddy. All right. Well, you heard the numbers, Jordan. Anything stand out to you?
I think another thing that we can look at is what's a lull game, what's something that we need to improve on. We have talked about turnovers a little bit this year, so I know Mose, that's a huge stat that he tracks, and scores one thing, but to have a lot of turnovers in another game is something he wants to avoid. I was just kind of hyped up because I was pressing some buttons on the camera. I thought it looked really yellow all night.
Yeah.
So if you're at home and it looked yellow, I started pressing some random buttons, and it turned back to clear and white. So we're back.
Oh, there we go. Well, hey, I didn't see. You're always on top of that stuff. I had no clue. So good job keeping an eye on that, by the way. Hey, a question for you here. Mark said something I thought was interesting. He said, they switched jerseys, right, Cale and Dane. But I would disagree with that. I mean, this is what Cale does, right? This is why he is so dangerous and why he'll be a great college player. Because if he has a night where he doesn't score 18, he is distributing, he's creating all kinds of chaos on the defensive side, and his brother has been the beneficiary tonight of a very unselfish Jacobson who's been looking to dish a lot.
Yeah, and a couple times this year we've talked about volume shooters, oh yeah, that guy's a volume shooter. That's what that means, is that maybe the biggest way you impact and the only way you impact is by taking a high number of shots and shooting at a high percentage. Cale is a kid that is efficient and facilitates, to very, very high praises of kids. So tonight he hasn't taken a lot of shots and missed a lot of shots. He's just, taking a couple, made a couple, but really taking advantage of the fact that Braden Thompson is their inside presence. So as Braden flows to him, he's finding guys. And Dane was on ABC in 2008. He was lost. I used to watch that show all the time. So yeah,
that is hilarious. I don't even know what that is, but I think it's a young, like, Disney show. Is that what it is?
It was on ABC, and it's about like a plane that went down, and they had to like survive
yes,
in the wild.
That's right.
I just remember I watched for like 3 years straight, and then it just got a little too much.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix now, but I can't bring myself to finish it. How did we get here, Tim? Let's get back on track.
Well, here's one thing that'll get us back on track. Here's another kid who's having a great night. He's not going to show up in that big old point column because he's only got 2 points in the first half, and that's Evan Shepard. But my goodness, again, he's wreaked havoc defensively. He's been attacking the rim, getting open shots for other guys. What a night Evan Shepard's having.
That's crazy. That's really, really crazy, because if you ask me who maybe had played the best for the Blue Jays tonight, I would probably think about saying Evan's name. Yeah. So our two of our senior leaders, 2 of our most athletic guys, 2 of our best basketball players have scored a combine of 6 points, and we're up on a good Class B team. That's crazy. It just shows these guys are finding ways to impact the game outside the scoreboard. And that's so cliche, but it's so important on, I'm going to say the word again, on a championship level team, on a state tournament team, to have guys that are willing to do whatever it takes.
Well, that's what makes this team so good when you've got 2 seniors like, Shepard. And let's also talk about Max. Max just has that first tray, but yet here they are. They're not worrying about what they're going to look like in the box score tomorrow morning. They're just giving it up. And Dane Jacobson has 8 points in that second quarter, 11 for the game, because this is a team very unselfish.
I started doing the math there. I was like, where are all our points at? And then Dane has them. Okay.
Yep. He had a great second quarter. We're underway here in the third as Thoko had a ball that he was looking to hit Chase Brown, but threw just a hair behind him.
Yeah, a little backdoor set to start things off. See what the Blue Jays have in store.
It's Cale Jacobson, Evan Shepard, Cougar Conson, Max Parker, and Brooks Kissinger. There is Braden Thompson on Cale. Done a good job tonight. And here comes Kissinger, has a shot blocked, but a little body there by Chase Brown. And so Brooks will go to the line to shoot 2.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what Brooks does. That I just don't know what it is. He just hangs in the air. He stays extended. He gives you so many opportunities to hit him that you do. He just got something.
Isn't that a great way to put it as he hits his first free throw there? You're right. I mean, and Shepard has this as well, the way they hang in the air. I mean, they don't seem to come down for a long time when they go up.
Well, and Evan's a lot more athletic than Brooks is, so but yeah, it's just, I don't know. You just have so many chances to hit them, and you just do.
That is broadcast goal, partner. That is a great analysis. As they get the ball in here to Brown on the left elbow. Brown is doubled, and he tries to force a pass that's stolen away. Brooks is running. He's got a 3-on-2 break. Look at that left hand. Dumps it off to Cale. Cale's going to dribble out. One hand shuffle it over to Cougar, and a reach in on the floor. Second team foul on Nebraska City.
And back to the other point, Evan's a state champion hurdler. Brooks is not that. Evan uses his athleticism to hang in the air, and Brooks uses a lot of athleticism, but he just doesn't have as much as Evan. It's like Brooks just has a little moxie to him. Evan has Shrine Bowl cornerback moxie. Brooks has basketball moxie.
Man, I like that word, moxie. That's a great way to describe Kissinger, and a lot better word than lithosphere.
Well, we're also teaching about Lithuania in geography class, so.
Here's a pass down to Parker. High off the glass. Max got a great feed from Cale. 32-11.
Good, yeah, and Cale continuing to facilitate. Max on the inside scoring there. I love that Max is gaining confidence, going up in traffic and elevating to finish.
Here comes Thoko. Working around here a little bit on the perimeter. Blue Jays so good here to start third quarters. I mean, this is when they just take the air out of a team that has an idea of coming at them, and Brown is going to be fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2, but that's kind of been the MO of the Blue Jays. It's like the game can kind of be within reach, and then the first 2 or 3 minutes of that third quarter, the Blue Jays just come out and put their stamp on it.
Yeah, on a 4-0 run right now, and while that's not insurmountable, it's we're only 2 minutes into this thing. I think that Mose said he threw down some stat, the time that you need to score, like the pace you want to play at, and Blue Jays falling within that scoring to time taken off the clock ratio.
Brown got them both to make it 32-13. Nebraska City come here. They've played really good D tonight, but the Blue Jays have played absolutely terrific D. And they've done enough here to get up 32-13 offensively. It's Kale, what a move, off the glass and good. Oh man, that was he had that defense guessing because he's passed so much tonight. They had a double on him and they released. I think they thought he was gonna make that pass to the weak side and he just goes up strong off the glass.
Yeah, Kale's shown some crafty, some old man game, wise basketball player game this year. It just begins to be a struggle. You know, you play for Kale to stop Kale, then you want to try to stop the counter, and Kale just, like you said, keeping him guessing.
Coach Mose using that pressure absolutely brilliantly tonight against Nebraska City. Getting it in there is Nelson. They go to the corner. They're going to work off that right side. Man-to-man defense here for the Blue Jays. They love that man-to-man, and they play it so well. As Brown's going to dump it to Thoko, high off the glass. Cougar cons him, credit him with that miss, and we've got to reach in and a foul, I believe, on Bourne. But credit Cougar cons him with getting in the face of Bourne's and really causing that miss.
And that's kind of what the lull we talked about, the defensive breakdowns. There was one there, but Cougs is playing hard. He contests the shot, and then Evan, Shrine Bowl cornerback, goes up in traffic, comes down with that jump ball, and gets fouled because he's strong with it.
I like that analogy as Cougar will get it down in the corner. Just a little too low for Evan, a little too close to him. You want that bounce pass a good foot out in front of you if you can. 34-13 the score. See Brad Jacobson keeping an eye on that #1 ranked student body over there. No student body better in the country. They've earned that #1 ranking. As Thoko is able to split a couple of defenders. Heel attack, tries to dump it to Thompson, and a charge as Evan Shepard steps in there and takes the charge.
Love that from Evan. That's not the first time he's done this this year. I'll tell you, we're editing up clips from the Louisville game, and we had one from the sideline of Evan trying to take a charge. So the kids tossed it in there. We showed it to Mose, and Mose goes, not only they called that a charge, and I looked at Evan and I told him, I said, that is one heck of an acting job. That is a Brad Pitt acting job, because I didn't see it play live, and I legitimately thought that it was a charge called.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I like how you said the Brad Pitt one is Cale Jacobson. He says, I'm going to start taking over here, 36-13.
And he is. I mean, that's just a powerful move. He's dumped that so many times, but the last 2 possessions, he shot it, got it in 1. Cale has shown a lot of skills tonight.
And does he get a steal? He dives. He comes up with it. 3-on-1 break. What will the Blue Jays do? Back to Max. He tries to dunk it, but couldn't quite get it. But there is Dane Jacobson, who's been so good tonight on the putback.
That was just a fun possession. Cale diving on the ground. Max tries to go up in traffic, and then Dane with a little dipsy do gets it in there.
We're going to call Dane Jacobson the junkyard dog. He's been getting some junk looks tonight because his brother's been so generous, and there he got an offensive board put back. But there's nothing better than being a junkyard dog, is there?
I'll tell you what, someone's got to take the trash out at Beatrice. Yeah. We called it the garbage man. And there's no disrespect to anything. It's just a guy willing to do the dirty work. And Dane's doing dirty work. He's cutting, he's rebounding, he's doing those things that aren't flashy, but I'll tell you what, you got to get the trash taken out every week or else you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, that's right. And that's coming from an old, dirty, physical tight end that, you guys had to carry the trash out in football too, those tight ends.
I was a garbage man in high school. I'm not going to lie. I set more screens than points scored. I think I averaged 3 points on a state tournament team, 3 points, 8 rebounds, and I'll tell you, no one was a better screener in the state than I was. I took pride in that, so I appreciate the garbage man role.
Well, that's a guy that can give you perspective on a state championship team in Beatrice. I imagine you're seeing some of the same attributes with this Blue Jay squad. As this 3-ball goes up by Brown, it won't go. And I imagine you're seeing some of those same attributes.
Jim Weeks has a reputation for playing conservative and slow, and Blue Jays are the exact opposite. So they're successful and they're deep. That's maybe where we're the same.
Well, we had an opportunity as Cale Jacobson gets in the paint. Oh, look at him kick it out. So unselfish. Evan on the three, off the back of the rim. And running here is Nelson. Cale is just harassing him up the court. Almost got a steal. Look at Jacobson play that defense. All over him. He is really doing it on both ends of the court. Here comes Thompson, just too tough that time. Too big of a body.
Big, strong, physical kid. Gets in the lane, finds a way, but love Cale doing the little things right. That's when we talk about high-level teams. When your leader's willing to do the little things right, it's a great place to start.
Boy, it gets everyone on board when your senior leader does this, and he's going to be fouled on his way to the rim. I think they're going to call it on the floor. They do. As Cougar Condon is going to check in, Brooks Kissinger is going to check in. In this 38-15 game tonight, the Blue Jays doing it defensively. Boy, have they been good. If this were a football game, we'd be talking about just how physical they've been, and you'd have your opposing team averaging about 1.3 yards a carry, right, football?
Yeah, and, you know, the Blue Jays are highly skilled, and sometimes how you beat highly skilled teams is to outbody them. As Cale goes for a three.
Oh, man, but what a pass he made to his brother Dane behind the back. And now we have a reach in and a foul on Cale.
But, you know, what we were talking about the other end, you know, you counter high skill with being overly physical, and I'll tell you what, Blue Jays are physically imposing as well as highly skilled.
So here comes the Pioneers as they work at the top of the key. They get a pick at the elbow. And nearly tracking it down there is Cale, or Dane Jacobson. They spin it around. Three ball being put up by Thompson. What a board and put back that's blocked by Cougar. Beautiful job by Fritsch, but Cougar said no, and here comes Brooks. Can't finish. The Junkyard Dog got in there, but able to get that rebound. But he'll kick it out. Bridges got to the hands of Dane Jacobson. Here come the Pioneers with 2:07 to go in the third. Fritsch showed some athleticism on that, didn't he?
He did. Dane was lurking. Dane was looking for a rebound, but you know, Nebraska City not showing a lot of quit right now. Definitely competing and fighting.
In the paint, working through, left-handed layup, won't go for Thompson, but what an effort as he worked through two defenders, and he'll go to the line and shoot two.
Yeah, and you know, those two defenders were Cougar and Cale. You know, 6'4", 200, 6'4", 190. Those are two big boys blocking that, defending that block down there.
And he makes it 38-16. Well, you've talked about this, and you know something about tight end play. I mean, this is a kid that's going to Southeast Missouri State. He's going to have a great career there, but man, you feel like this. He could have maybe had the pick of the litter after watching him tonight, right?
Yeah, and he was super focused on basketball earlier, and then kind of grew into that tight end role. But I mean, big, strong, and physical. It's all it takes.
And there comes Brooks Kissinger, left-handed layup, makes it 40-17.
So not only does he have that frame, but he also has that skill set from playing a lot of basketball in his youth. You know, just maybe not as much around him as a Cale.
And, Brown just inadvertently threw that away, I believe. Here comes Cale. He'll attack. Off the front of the rim, but he's fouled by Brown. And Brown just a hair frustrated right now. You could tell he just really didn't know where he was throwing that pass, and Kissinger just pulled it out of midair.
Well, the Blue Jays were kind of doing their usual press deal, but they were taking one of their middle defenders and face guarding Thompson. You know, press sometimes is used to get steals. Press sometimes is used to get transition layups. Sometimes the press is used to get the ball out of a certain guy's hand, and that's how the Blue Jays attacked that there.
Well, the first free throw up, no good by Cale. Stays 40-17. Second one is good. So Blue Jays rolling along here late third quarter, 41-17. Credit Nebraska City. Boy, they have played some tough defense. Here's a steal by Jacobson. Here comes Brooks. Off the glass, rolls around and falls. It's 43-17. And I think Coach Thompson's going to call a timeout. Go ahead.
Great finisher. You know, Brooks just continues to show that ability to finish. It's a huge asset for a team that works on getting steals.
Another steal. Out of the pressure. 3-on-1 break. Cale, oh, look at that. No look. Back to Max. He's fouled. Wasn't able to hammer it home. but he got the bucket and the foul. And another pretty assist from Cale Jacobson.
I'll tell you what, Max was about a hand slam down from tearing the roof off this play. He went up for it. He kind of got hit on the arm, and the ball ended up finding its home. But Max's hand was on top of that ball, trying to bring it down on top of the rim.
46-17. I've got to tell you, that pass from Cale Jacobson reminded me of the old Magic Johnson. He was so great at that no-look pass, and here's a reach in and a foul. And it'd be interesting to see. I mean, you're way too young to remember Magic's days, right?
I used to watch Magic highlights. I love the Flash and the Showtime. I actually wrote my college history thesis paper on the Showtime Lakers.
Oh, man. I would love to read that. That had to be fun. And that had to be a fun project, let's be honest.
Yeah, and it was just about how sports has impacted different cities. And so mine was about how the Lakers and the Hollywood culture really impacted the Dodgers and the Lakers, and how they obtained free agents and stuff like that.
Well, splitting defenders, and a shot up the glasses. Cosgrove to make it 46-19. Here comes Kissinger with 26 seconds. Back to Cale. Another no-look shovel pass to Brooks, and he'll knock it home.
Wildly unselfish. Cale had every ability to drive in there and finish at the lane, but he just pulled Thompson to him and then got the ball to Brooks.
And here's a pass knocked out of bounds. And here comes Evan Shepard with 11.9. Cade Bridges will exit 49-19. His Ashland-Greenwood defense has been stellar. As Nebraska City will try to get a bucket. Of course, going back to that Lakers story, as Thompson has it, will carry this thing out. And we've got under 10 seconds to go. Thompson gets a pick. He'll shovel it over. Back over to Thompson. Pump fake. He'll try three. And he gets it. He's got 3 on the night as Cale Jacobson goes 5 rows up and says hello to Coach Sean Emanuel up there. Make that, actually, that's my nephew. That's Cole Washburn up there on the 5th row. That's not Sean Emanuel. But it's 49-22. You see him there?
Oh, there, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he's got the get up on. He's
Yeah,
got
he's got that baseball look.
hot jacket, the beard, the hat. That's an easy mistake to make.
If I know there's one guy that understands fashion, it's you. I don't even know these what do you call these? These jackets with the high necks.
Hot jackets.
Hot jackets?
Yeah.
So you do a good job of keeping Coach Mose, by the way, in line. And I understand, Tyler Craven told me, he needs help with fashion.
Yeah,
because Coach Mose does.
Yeah, well, when I took over the golf program from Jerry, with that comes a website you can use to order golf gear. Well, golf gear conveniently is what coaches wear, and so I do all the gear orders for the high school coaches and stuff like that. And I try with Mose. I try my hardest to make him look good, but some guys you can help and some guys you can't.
You got a lot of work to do with Coach Mose, because I'll tell you right now, I went with him Saturday night. We went and watched that Auburn game. Tyler Craven, and he wore a really, really nice shirt with a pair of old gray sweatpants from like 1974.
He just, hey, if it doesn't help you win, it's not worth your time. And picking out something fancy to wear isn't gonna help you win.
Well, we're underway in the 4th quarter. As Cale Jacobson's left alone, he's going to make him pay. No, off the front of the rim as Thompson will rip it down. And here's a pass that goes off the fingertips of Cosgrove. And nice pass by Thompson. Cosgrove just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it was a hard pass. He's a strong kid, but that's one you got to complete and keep moving. But, they're running. They're getting steals. They're rebounding well, and they're running, trying to create transition offense.
Here comes Brooks. Looks to kick it out to Shepard. Cale's going to work in against Thompson. This time he'll get him in the air. Missed it. Cale coming up just limping a little bit here. Keep an eye on him as he comes up the court. There's a reach, and a foul is going to be called on Cale. But I'll tell you, Thompson with a nice job defensively, able to maybe get Cale to just adjust that shot a little bit.
Yeah, and Cale kind of surprised him there. He'd been coming at him with finesse a couple times, and Cale kind of bodied up there and put his shoulder into his chest. But then the finish was just a little bit too hard.
Cale came out there limping a little bit, but it looks like he's fine. He's in the game, and it's now 49-22. What a pass by Thompson back to Thoko. The reverse layup does not go, but Thoko will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
That was a sweet play. It all starts with having a guy that can jump over, reach a 9-foot high point, climax, and throw that ball right back and have the strength. But it's good. When you got the guys, you can run something like that.
Well, that foul was called on Brooks Kissinger, the 6th team foul on the Blue Jays. 8 team fouls on Nebraska City here in the second half, and Thoko misses that first of 2. Here comes the second free throw. And rolls around and won't go. Kissinger wants to run out of there. Cougar. They'll work it around the perimeter. Blue Jays up 27. They play Saturday morning, 8 o'clock in the Hoops Classic. And there's a little nice, easy touch off the glass for Cougar Consum.
High percentage shot, 2-footed shot. Cougar using good footwork to get to a 2-footed shot from about 3 feet away.
Cougar with 8 tonight. He had a good game offensively last game, but man, he's done some great things defensively tonight. And here is Brown in the paint. What a spin move, and he'll get it to go.
Kind of the same thing Cougar did on the other end. Brown really showing a good controlled move and getting a good shot out of it.
Brown with 6 points tonight, well below his 13-point average. And one thing that Coach Thompson said is he's playing great in Chase Brown, but he said he's probably having to play a little out of position this year as Max Parker gets a good eye at a 3 that won't go, and a rebound coming down to Thompson. We're going to have the second foul on Evan Shepard here as he and Thoko got messed up there and collided. As Chris Chanda, longtime official, calls the foul. 6:07 to go in the 4th. Hey, that Heartland Hoops Classic is going to be a lot of fun Saturday, isn't it?
It is, just good environment. Shout out to GICC and the crew that puts that together. I know Tino's a big part of that. But it's just a fun day of basketball. A lot of good teams coming down, and kind of feels like a little mini state tournament.
Cougar Consum loses the handle on that one. So Thompson's running, goes to Thoko, left-handed layup. Nicely done. It's a good break there by Nebraska City.
It's a good time to kind of lock in if you're the Blue Jays, take a great shot and get stops.
And here is Cale Jacobson with the ball working right corner. A little one-handed dish. That's going to be stolen away by MJ Nelson. 2-on-2 break. MJ doesn't like it, so he'll kick it out to Bloom. Here's a long 3 put up by Brown. He said, I'm starting to get going. 5 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, once again, be a good time to get a bucket for the Blue Jays. Don't want to fall into be okay with this habit of performance right now.
51-29. Here's a skip pass to Cale deep in the corner. That was a set play, I believe. They had a pick for him over there. Brooks with a crossover in the paint. Gets his man in the air, tries to knock it in off the glass. It won't go. Max can't get the rebound, but look out. Here comes Thompson. He'll go against Max. Won't finish, but he's fouled. He's going to shoot 2, and you can tell Thompson is tired. I think he's played every single second of this game.
Well, and he's been having to do it on the offensive end, the defensive end. He's their leading scorer. While Cale is tasked with a lot offensively for us on the defensive end, Max has been guarding their best player, but Braden is guarding Cale every possession. He's asked to do a lot on the offensive end as well, carrying a load, but it's the burden of success sometimes.
Well, Shepard, Parker, and Cale Jacobson will exit with 4:58 to go here. We may not see them again this evening. And Drake Zimmerman, Dane Jacobson, Kay Bridges check in. They'll be joining Brooks Kissinger and Cougar Consum. It's Thompson. It's them both. That was the second foul, by the way, on Max Parker. Here comes Dane Jacobson, a little crossover dribble. Brown did a good job on him. 21-point Blue Jay lead. And there's Drake Zimmerman with a little extra step. They call him for the walk. This Nebraska City team, Jordan, they're going to be tough here down the stretch. I mean, they've got size. They've got some really good athletes.
Yeah, they're good. If you're Blue Jay faithful at home right now, you haven't played your best basketball this quarter, but part of that is a product of the skill Nebraska City brings to the table.
And here comes Thompson. He got it to roll.
Grown.
Brooks did his best job.
He's grown. He did a nice quick spin move there, and it was a lot of force to put a 6'4" Cougar on his back.
Yeah, and actually it was Consum, not Brooks Kissinger. And now we've got a timeout by Coach Mose with his team up 51-32, 4:16 to go here in the 4th quarter. And by the way, big shout out to Rick and Julie Jeffrey. They are celebrating an anniversary tonight, and that's perfect, right? Right around Valentine's Day. And they are the parents of Tiffany Mose, and so they're listening tonight. We want to give them a big shout out. Hopefully they're enjoying the anniversary by listening and watching the Strive broadcast, right?
I'll tell you what, I can't think of a better way to spend your night. You know, that's what my fiance Lindsay and I might do on Valentine's Day night, just put up an old recording of a Strive broadcast and spend the night looking into each other's eyes.
Have one of those rakes steaks, right?
Yes.
That I got you
Christmas present from you. I'll tell you, I wish I was a better cook so I can enjoy them. I've been watching YouTube videos for the past couple weeks, just getting ready to cook them.
Oh, that's going to be a fun night. I'm sure Lindsay's like, this will be so exciting.
I think the rule of Valentine's Day night is no Strive and no talk of Ashland athletics for one night.
Give her a break. Absolutely, she's earned it.
She's a sport. I love her to death. I'm excited to marry her.
Yeah, the big wedding coming up, and man alive, is she a patient woman?
You gotta be.
Here comes Nebraska City. They're down 19, but not giving up here. Coach Thompson getting some new charges out there. You got Barnes who's in there. Thompson stays in off the right elbow. He's just going to try a little 15-footer, and he knocks it home. Great touch on his shot.
It's easy picking, just like Kale's kind of transitioning into that mid-post region. Thompson's a great player to play from that 15-foot range.
Man, fun to watch him tonight as Dane Jacobson draws a triple team. So he gets it to Kissinger, who just attacks the rim and scores.
You know, Brooks has had a good night offensively, good second half. He just kind of has been the difference for the Blue Jays. Just continues to find layups and make layups.
It's been fun to watch his improvement throughout the season. He started out the beginning of the year, and he's just gotten better, it seems like, with every game. And here's a shot by Brown that misses. It's tipped out to Cougar. Cougar alertly gets it to Brooks. He'll try to go down the corner, but can Thompson get the steal? No, it comes over to Cougar. A little step through himself and a whistle and a foul, and Cougs will go to the line and shoot two.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. You know, all those Kissinger boys can score. Cal, watched him in 8th grade a little bit. He's scoring the ball. Reese obviously scores a lot. But there's something about Brooks that he can move explosively in any direction, any way that he's standing, and just really has a great control of his body and just high-level scorer. And it's crazy that he's our second leading scorer, our third leading scorer, for as skilled as he is.
Boy, he is skilled, and that's such a great way to put it, Jordan, as Cougar hits both of those. And that's a guy I'm super proud of as well as Cougar Conza, because he has, here's a three ball put up here by Brown that won't go, and Bridges with the board. His scoring is down a little bit this year, but he has just had an awesome attitude as Bridges will attack and go high off the glass. But Cougars just had an awesome attitude, continue to play. He's played great defense, does a great job on the boards, and got to really be proud of that guy.
Yeah, and it's bigger than them, and they know that. They realize that. They got a chance to do something really special this year, so kind of just let me know what we got to do, and we'll get it done, and that's championship mindset.
2:10 to go as Thompson missed a three ball there. Blue Jays up 57-34. The Blue Jays JV won earlier tonight. And you're getting something.
I got
here.
a text from Lindsay.
She was listening at home.
She said sounding great on Strive. Sorry, let's get back on track.
Oh, so again, Lindsay, just so you know, you get a break Monday night. You don't have to watch any Strive Monday night. And that's a promise. I'm going to hold Jordan to it.
Yeah.
But man, isn't that nice? She's listening at home.
Yeah, she actually had some wedding stuff today, so she was going up taking care of that. But that's funny. That's really, really funny.
Oh, it's great seeing you guys Saturday night as well. And here's the second free throw. That's something good.
She just turned it on. She didn't hear the Valentine's Day thing. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. That's funny. Well, Lindsay, you were the star of the show for most of the fourth quarter. We'll just tell you that. And back the other way comes Neb City. And we've got 2 minutes to go. It's a 25-point lead for the Big Blue. And you've got Dawson Thiessen there. Walker Grell. There's Luke Clark. And here's a pass. Darren Hill was on the defense that time. And credit Darren Hill with that turnover. And so the Blue Jays getting some quality minutes here with this game.
Yeah, that's, once again, we talked about it all year. The benefit of winning big games and winning a lot of games by a wide margin is experience. And you're getting 5 or 6 guys that got an opportunity to get varsity experience.
Clark with it on the right wing, gets a good feed into Drake. Back to Luke. Oh, what a dish to Dawson Teese. The shot is blocked, and there's Teese on the finish. But a great look by Luke Clark.
Clark and Teese, 2 tall guys, operate on the outside, operate on the inside. Those are 2 exciting players for the Blue Jays.
But that's what you get, Jordan, right? When you get Cale Jacobson and Evan and Max and Darren Hill, all these unselfish seniors, they're looking to make that extra pass. And these younger guys see it, and that's what Luke Clark just did. Nebraska City answers on the other end, but that's how it trickles down, right?
And they're also skilled enough to operate at that 8-foot range and make a pass in crowded territory, and that allows for a guy to finish, because a lot of inside passes or a lot of 3-point to inside passes don't result in layups, but 8-foot to 8-foot scores.
And there's Darren Hill on the finish. Missed the 3-ball, got his own rebound and scored.
I'll tell you, Darren's he's racking the numbers up. Going into the state tournament, he's going to have a good little box if we end up making it. But good for Darren, 5 points on there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it has been really great to see the emergence of Darren Hill this year. He's working hard. Credit Coach Mose. And here's a shot up the glass to give him that jersey midway through the season. And they're going to call a foul on the Big Blue. With 20.4 to go, 63-36. And the Blue Jays just put in the finishing touches on this one. Here's the first free throw up and good by the Pioneers. So we haven't gotten a score from Omaha Mercy. You got anything coming your way? I've been checking my...
Do you have NFHS Network or Twitter? What are you looking
not.
on? Okay. It's on that NFHS. Otherwise, I have it up on the live stream. I'll see if maybe... I don't know who's there tonight. If Flynn's there tonight.
I saw Matt here earlier. Is the Blue Jays just going to
it'd be Kristen. Kristen would be there.
That's right. And the Blue Jays are going to get their 17th win, yes.
AG up on Mercy, 30-14.
There we go. They're looking for their 10th win of the year. And here is the Blue Jays, #1 ranked in Class C1. Cale Jacobson and Thompson, and Dane Jacobson and Thompson giving each other a big hug out there. As he is quite the player. Braden Thompson going to go on to have an incredible career at Southeast Missouri State. And by the way, he's part of that 1,000-point club at Nebraska City as well. He scored over 1,000 for his career. And it's been fun to watch him tonight. This Nebraska City team really gave a great effort defensively, but the Blue Jays just too much. And now it's time for the Big Blue to serenade the student body. And we'll see if Logan can get the camera on the boys as they get ready to serenade the #1 ranked student body in the country. Well, a lot of baritones in that student body, huh?
yeah. Nobody going up for the high notes, but I think it's a safe play.
Well, Jordan, I would think that Coach Mose is going to be happy with this victory tonight because his defense was just lights out, and they didn't commit many turnovers tonight. They only had one, the Big Blue did at halftime, just one turnover. And, it was just a night where things didn't fall like they normally do for Ashland-Greenwood shooting the basketball, but they took good shots. So I got to imagine he's going to be happy.
Yeah, maybe some layups that early on that you'd like to see go, but they kind of weather those storms, and you're not gonna have a perfect shooting night every night of the week. So if the shots aren't falling, finding different ways to score and find success. But that's exactly what the Blue Jays did. Weathered the storm and not making those layups early, kept shooting good shots, and found success.
Well, they're going to go into Saturday morning against the Grand Island Northwest team that really essentially is playing a home game against the Big Blue. And I think if you're Coach Mose, you got to be pleased that you're going in to that game playing the kind of defense they did, because Northwest, where they are well coached and it's a long drive out, they're going to stay in a hotel Friday night. So you want to see the Blue Jays playing pretty well going into that.
Yeah, you haven't played a lot of 8 a.m. games all year. You haven't played any 8 a.m. games all year.
Right.
Northwest doesn't have to travel. They can sleep in their own beds. They're not unfamiliar with the Heartland Event Center. There's a lot of things that make it different. It's same old game. Basketball rim's still the same height. But there's things that make it different, and there's things that make Northwest feel a little bit more at ease than maybe the Blue Jays are.
Well, here's a guy that had a big night, and that's Dane Jacobson. He ends up with 13 points. But again, and I know that we've talked a lot about it, but man alive, the job that this team did, getting him the basketball, also having a pretty darn good night was Brooks Kissinger. Of course, Brooks creates a lot of stuff on his own as well. But there was just a lot. I'd love to see how many assists the Blue Jays had tonight, because there had to be a bunch.
Yeah, unselfish basketball. If I'm an opposing coach coming into this game, I might look at it and say, hey, if I can stop Cale Jacobson, I might have a shot. But he's such a facilitator. He dishes, he dimes, hits the open man, and tonight Dane was the open man. So great job by the Blue Jays, great job by Cale, and different guys stepping up for different games.
And then this defense of the Blue Jays, what did you see? I mean, when you look at this, if you're an opposing team, we know Bishop Newman was here tonight scouting. What do you see about this Blue Jay defense that makes them so special?
They're just kind of everywhere. And, high IQ guys, athletic guys, guys that are committed to being on the defensive end. They play passing lanes. They sit off in gap. They rotate quickly to help. They've got a lot of guys that attack the boards. There's layers to it. Good on-ball defense, good off-ball defense, and then a commitment to rebounds. Nebraska City definitely tried to be physical tonight, tried to get on the inside, take advantage of the advantage that Thompson gives them, but there's not a lot of holes in it. And they don't get bored. They don't have a lot of breakdowns. They just kind of handle their business and play at a high level.
Well, here's Mark Adele. And Mark, really excited to hear what those numbers sound like here for this game.
Well, you said the shots weren't dropping. To a certain extent, that's true. But I also want to point out that we were 13 of 22 from the field in the second half. 25 of 50 for the game, 50%.
Whoa.
So there's still only one.
Better than I thought, then, didn't they?
Still only one time this season where we've not shot at least 50% from the field. That being against Fort Calhoun Conference Championship. We were, however, only 4 of 17 from 3, 24%. And that, again, comes and goes. We were 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 75%. Nebraska City shot the ball much better the second half as well. That's why they stayed in the game as much as they did. They were 9 of 15 in the second half, 13 of 30 for the game, 43%. And Braden Thompson, he is hard to guard when he is hitting from 3 like he was tonight. And most of the threes he made for Nebraska City, they were 4 of 15, and he got 3 of them for 27%. A little bit weak at the line, though, 8 of 15, 53%. Rebounds, we out-rebounded them 23-21. We had 7 offensive, they had 4 offensive. But really, the stat that did them in, other than cold shooting in the first half, the turnovers. 20 turnovers. We got a little sloppy in the fourth quarter. We ended up with 7, but that's still pretty good. And you're not going to beat the Blue Jays if you turn the ball over 20 times. I'll go out on a limb and say that.
Well, and so much of that, as we talked about, was this Blue Jay defense. They created that pressure, that half-court pressure, three-quarters court. It's relentless, and boy, that really wears a team down.
Well, I'm going to see you guys. I'll get up early in the morning in sunny Grand Island on Saturday.
That's right. It's going to be great. Yeah, sunny Grand Island. Jordan and I are going to be there. Can't wait to see that one at 8 a.m. Partner, you going to have some coffee that morning?
Probably not. I don't drink coffee.
Red Bull? Anything?
I don't drink
You're
Red
all
Bull.
natural, aren't you?
No, I mean, yeah. I don't know. If I drink coffee, I end up taking a nap about 30 minutes later. Can't do that. Tyler Craven told me to drink hot water.
There you go. Well, listen, wait till you get to be my age. You can't get your day started without coffee.
I probably not too far off from that.
Yeah.
It's never started.
Well, we got to hope the Blue Jays, I think there's so many interesting things about that game. Look, the Blue Jays want to achieve their goal. They could very easily get into a state game and be playing at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. I don't know if 8 is a game time that they have at state, but being on the road, staying in a hotel room, there's going to be a lot of things that they're going to get an opportunity to experience Saturday morning that's just going to help them as they prepare for the stretch run.
Yeah, if you look at it as like we could compete with anyone, we're being slighted on our time or within the process, you're going about it all wrong. It's such a cultural opportunity to do things that good programs are having to do all the time. Go on the road, play in a big arena, play in a neutral site, compete against a team outside your class, compete against a team who's found success in recent years. So I think the Blue Jays are excited for that. And once again, another opportunity to come out and put a good product out, regardless of opponent, and muddy things up by who you're playing, where you're playing, how the game's going, and you could come out and be flat and be disappointed. So I think the Blue Jays are excited to go out and compete.
No doubt. Well, it's sure going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know if we're going to get someone. The coaches have been just a little delayed in getting out here tonight. They had a nice opportunity to chat in the locker room. But it looks like I see Tyler Craven coming out. We'll see where Coach Mose is on the spectrum. And here comes Tyler. He's going to come on up. And we'll talk to him about this very impressive win tonight for the Big Blue over Nebraska City. And here he comes. He's making his way, charging up here, as he always does, Jordan. And first off, Coach, you forced 21 turnovers tonight. 20 turnovers is what we had. And this defense was lights out. Talk a little bit about that performance.
Yeah, I thought our guys did a great job. I think it was 5 in the first quarter, or 6 in the first quarter, 5 in the second quarter. So, and the third might have been close to a single digit, maybe a 10 or 11-point quarter. So
they had 11, yeah.
That's pretty good for 3 quarters. Put defense together like that. Really good job by our guys.
Talk a little bit about what you wanted to do defensively on Brown and Thompson. I know you wanted to hold them to 2022. Were you happy with how you defended them?
I thought we defended Brown really well. I thought Max did a good job on Thompson. I thought we needed to do a better job as a team guarding him, being in the gaps, not letting him be able to go through Max's chest, because Thompson's a beast. He's a man, and he's playing basketball like a man. So
yeah, he's a
hard.
big boy, isn't he?
And when he makes a couple threes early, that makes him really hard to guard. I don't know what he had, probably 18 to 20.
Yeah, he had. I'll tally those up. He had a good night. But there's no doubt about it. You guys did a great job on everyone else and kept them down. Offensively, you shoot 50%. It wasn't a night that you didn't have that feel of having that big shooting night, but you ended up shooting 50%.
Yeah, we just thought we didn't get to the rim enough or in the paint. Anyway, we thought in the fourth quarter our bad offense to start led to their first 10 points. I think, after 3 or 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, we were down 10-2. So we finished that quarter down 16-14. So we'll take that. But our bad offense led to some bad defense or some scores for them, which is never a good thing. So we'll get that fixed. I know the guys know.
Yeah. Jordan.
What does the conversation after a game like tonight look like in the locker room for you guys? Tim made a comment. Hey, you held him a little longer than usual. What are you guys talking about after tonight's game?
Good question. We're still wondering what to say. No. We thought about what to say. We just kind of talked about, finding your joy in the fact that you have a month left, no matter how far you make it, and playing with your teammates and your best friends. And so we kind of talked about how all of us coaches now, we play, but it's not quite very fun playing against a bunch of old sweaty guys going up and down and not really caring what you do. So, find your joy, have fun with your friends, enjoy this last month, and let's see what we can do. So that was kind of the message. I have a fun trip coming this weekend, so that'll be a great experience for them. They definitely earned it.
You're not going to ask him a question about what he's wearing tonight, because you normally are the fashionista up here.
I hate that I'm getting that reputation, but Tyler probably knows it's well deserved.
It is well deserved.
I'm always talking about.
He's got him buying all this name brand stuff. I don't even know what it's called. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. All I can say is You know, you wear it better than me. So whatever it is, it works for you guys. Hey, congrats on – go ahead.
I think it's a record for Lindsay mentions on the broadcast. Like, I mentioned her for Valentine's Day a little bit, and then she texted me. She heard it, but she didn't hear it. TC, we're at like 6 Lindsay counters tonight.
Yeah. Welcome to Ashland.
Darn right. Hey,
thanks,
good work
guys.
on
Our guys
Saturday.
play
We'll see you
great.
out there. You bet, buddy. Thank you so much. And that means it's time for Coach Mose. Coach, your defense was really good. I mean, it just was outstanding tonight. I asked Jordan this. If a team is looking at you, when you watch them on field, what makes you guys so special defensively?
Good question. They're well coached.
You should have started there.
You know, kids that they're
good.
coachable. They work hard. You know, we've done several different things defensively, and they want to get after teams. You know, and they're smart enough and good enough and skilled enough defensively and smart enough that they can do different things and still kind of maintain some pressure and make teams uncomfortable without fouling and making them play faster than they want.
So that I don't repeat all the questions we asked Tyler, a different tact I want to take was Cale Jacobson tonight. Thompson did a great job, big physical dude, really good athlete. So what did Cale do? I mean, he does what he does all the time, right? He wasn't going to have that monster 25-point night. Man, I thought he distributed the basketball exceptionally well tonight with a tough defender on.
Yeah, you know, he's done that all year for us, several games of 8, 9, 10, 11 assists. You know, he obviously creates offense for us. And so when things haven't been scoring, when he hasn't been scoring as well this year, he's done a really good job of involving his teammates and setting them up for really good looks and getting us kind of going offensively. You know, tonight he would have had probably 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more assists if guys could, you know, make a shot and finish around the rim a little bit. So,
And let me just, I'm going to jump on that. Because I kind of felt like you. I didn't feel like we maybe shot as well as we could, but numbers come in, they're right, 50%. So tell me what you saw
50% from where?
From total. So 4
How about
of 17
from three?
from the 3, 4 of 17.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking
So that's the
about
issue.
that. Yeah.
Well, you know, early on when you settle for threes and don't attack the basket and you're, you know, 3 for 12 going into the break, what do you expect? You know, you've taken half your possessions and you've got 9 points for them. You know, so it's hard to score the basketball when you're just jacking threes and not making them. So you got to be careful how we say that, though, because we want to shoot threes. We're a good three-point shooting team,
yeah.
But when you settle for threes too often and don't attack the paint, sometimes you don't get anything from it. Are we getting to the free throw line? No, we shot 2 free throws at half, I think. You know, so there's a price to pay when you're not shooting it well, and we have to be smart enough to understand what we need in certain situations. Were we up 8 at the time? Well, okay, we were up 8, but it was our lowest scoring first half of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
And probably
Yes, it was.
probably significantly.
Yeah, 28 at half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan, if you don't have anything, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you should keep going.
Keep
you
going.
should keep
All right.
going.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
I'm
yeah.
so excited for you guys Saturday. Not just because you get a chance to play in the GI Heartland Hoops Classic, which has really turned into a special event, but all the things that your team has to go through. You're going to stay in a hotel room on Friday night. You're going to play at a time that is not traditional. And if you go deep, obviously, and stay where you want to go and hit your goals, some of this is going to come up, right, where it's not going to be that traditional Friday night game at 7:30. Talk about that experience you're going to get and what it's going to mean to your team.
No, it's just going to be fun to go play in a big arena. You know, obviously the challenge is kind of all the stuff you talked about, the overnight, the early morning, the 75 people in the crowd. You know, there's going to be a lot of things, so we get a chance to kind of see how our kids will respond and see if they'll create their own energy. I feel like we've struggled in that area lately. When we don't have a big crowd and things are rocking, we don't really play with much energy. So we're going to kind of see what we're made of Saturday in a unique game on the road where no one's going to wake us up and be yelling and screaming and pounding bleachers for us. So it'll be a good test to kind of see where we're at and how bad our guys want it, because, you know, we got to get back to really playing the way we were previously.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this, Coach, excuse me. There's no doubt you put in more time scouting than anyone I know. You watch more film. So tell us, can you give us a little hint what we're going to see from GI Northwest?
You know, I'd say they're kind of similar to some of the teams we've played lately. They've got you know, 1 or 2 kind of players that lead them in scoring, and then they got a lot of guys that can shoot open threes or or put it on the deck and drive a little bit. Obviously, you know, they're not this amazing, you know, top 5 team in Class B, but nevertheless, generally when you play up a class, they're a little bit more athletic than most teams we play. They're a little bit bigger than most teams we play, so they've got some big bodies and some athletic bodies that, you know, sometimes we don't see on a daily basis.
All right, well, I'm going to leave it one more time. Jordan, you good? Or you got something for Coach?
No, I was just going to ask about the schedule, but what are you guys doing for fun to make this kind of a more of a cultural experience in a game?
Yeah, you know, obviously when you stay in a hotel, kids get excited and think it's a trip, and so we've kind of had to tell them we're not swimming Friday night when we get there. Believe it or not, we did have to say that, and
they were excited about swimming. Huh?
I don't know. Maybe that's just, you know, me being goofy, but then we'll try and go out to eat. We'll try and watch some other games. We'll try and make it enjoyable. But hopefully the enjoyment comes from the way we play at 8 o'clock in the morning during that game. And that's got to set the tone for us for that day, that we came down here to play a basketball game, not swim in a pool.
That's right. They could do that all summer, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, hey, congrats on the victory tonight. Great job. Your defense was outstanding, and we're looking forward to seeing you Saturday morning.
All right, thanks for calling the game, guys.
You got it, absolutely. Jake Mose, who dressed up much better tonight than last Saturday when he went and scouted Auburn.
I don't want this to be a thing. I don't want this to be a thing.
Yeah.
It makes me sound like I have the ability to buy gear, so I buy gear for coaches, and a lot of conversations turn into we're all standing as a pod, and someone walks up and says, "Hey, I want to buy some quarter zips," and they give me crap. They're like, "Oh, you're the Adidas rep now." And it's absolutely not true. But yeah, I didn't like the polo from Mose tonight. He's got nicer ones. I know that he's bought nicer ones from my website. Brad's the other gear aficionado guy. We've learned not to make the crest.
Yeah.
We've learned that the logo without the crest, because the crest gets wrinkled.
Folks, I'm going to tell you, you're going to learn a lot on these broadcasts. Fashion is going to be part of it. And I learned a lot. Look at me.
It's unfortunate. I don't want to talk about it, but I just enjoyed talking about that and talked about the – oh, my gosh.
Well, folks, you heard it all here tonight. But what a basketball game for the Blue Jays defensively. They had a great night, and they got their 17th win of the year. They're 17-1. Nebraska City falls to 9-12. Well, we had the great Logan Yingling tonight, who did an awesome job on bringing you the pictures. From my man, Jordan Wallman, I'm Tim Washburn saying so long. We'll see you Saturday morning.